Good day everyone, I am Fetcher Villian. Today we'll talk about how to generate visual material under the subject of technical writing. So visual communication is crucial. Text is highly visual and can easily be overlooked. Designers must emphasize the type and its impact on information. Meaning and visuals must work together. Font choices significantly affect how a message is perceived and understood. As explained in Nick Colinda's 2016, The Psychology of Font. So according to him, the way we use text and images is very important because text is also visual and we can easily miss important things if we don't use it well or we don't use it correctly. So the type of font we use might affect how people or individual might understand or perceive our message. For example, imagine a children's book. Using a playful, cartoon-like makes it more readable and appealing for kids compared if we use a serious and formal font. So here's the example. So I know it is very familiar to you because it is common in making documents in Microsoft Word. So fonts also vary in perceptual traits. So for serif versus sans serif fonts are more readable via print, while sans serif fonts are more readable via screens. Serif fonts denote elegance and rationale, while sans serif fonts imply informality and innovation. So when we say sans serif, of course, it is seen as more elegant and traditional. And an example is the Times New Roman, which is often used in books and formal documents. However, the sans serif fonts they tend to appear more modern and clean. Example, Arial fonts, which is common in website and everyday documents. And we have also the light and bold. So light fonts signify beauty and femininity, while bold fonts convey power and masculinity. However, medium weight fonts are most readable. So light fonts example is the light version of Calibri might be used for a wedding invitation because it appears delicate and more feminine. And while bold fonts, it conveys strength and power. And example is a bold font like like we can use it in movie poster. And we have also the simple and versus complex. So simple fonts represent directness, while complex fonts embody uniqueness. So simple fonts are easy to read and convey directness. Example is the Verdana, which is often used in online content. And complex fonts, however, more unique and stylish, but can harder to read in a large block of text. Example, a script font might be used for a signature or a fancy logo. The next one is slanted versus straight. So slanted fonts show movement, while straight fonts show stability. So slanted fonts suggest movements and dynamism. Example, the italics and travel brochure to highlight destinations, while straight fonts implies stability and seriousness. Example, a straight font like Times New Roman for a legal document. And the next is lowercase versus uppercase. So lowercase emphasizes compassion and innovation, while uppercase represent power and strength, while mixed case letters are most readable. So lowercase often feels friendlier and more approachable. Example, a lowercase font for a friendly email, and uppercase conveys power and authority but can be harder to read in a large amounts. So for example, all caps for a headline to grab attention. So it is very common on the uppercase. We use uppercase format or all caps if we are writing a headline of a newspaper. And the next one is short versus tall. So short fonts signify heaviness and stability, while tall fonts show lightness and aspiration. So short fonts appear more stable and grounded. Example, a short blocky font for a construction company logo, or a tall font conveys lightness and aspiration. Example, a tall slender font for a fashion magazine. Now let's proceed for the queries to consider when choosing fonts. So first is, what does my audience expect from my use of fonts? So So this question is focuses on the target audience. Different groups have different expectation. For example, for children's book, kids respond well to a playful or colorful fonts. A font like Comic Sans or a similar rounded font might be appropriate. Or you are using a font for legal documents, so a formal and easily readable font like Times New Roman is expected for a legal document. It projects professionalism and seriousness. So the next question is, what do I embody in my font choices? So this question is encourages you to consider your personal brand or message you want to convey. So for example, you are applying for a job. So in your job application, you might use a formal clean font like Garamond or Cambria would likely to be best for a job application to show professionalism. Or you are using a font because you are a cartoonist, so a fun quirky font might be appropriate for a cartoonist website or portfolio reflecting their creative style. So the next one is, am I applying for a job? Am I an editor in a chief of or school newspaper? So these are specific scenarios highlighting different professional contexts and their font expectation. The appropriate font will vary greatly based on the context. So the next one is, what kind of text am I typing in various fonts? So this address the purpose of format of your text. Example, the headline, a bold, attention-grabbing font-like impact is a common choice for headlines. Another example is body text. For a long blocks of text, readability is key. Fonts like Arial or Calibri are often preferred. So in short, choosing a font isn't just about aesthetics. It's about communicating effectively with your audience and aligning your design with your message and purpose. So, to wrap up the discussion, picking the right font is a key because it changes how people and read and understand what you are saying. Some fonts feel formal, others are fun, some are modern, and some are old-fashioned. Before you choose, think about who you are writing for and um, I mean before you choose a font, you must think about who are your audience, or who you are writing for, and the feeling you want to create. The best font will make your words easy to read and help you connect with your audience. So that ends my discussion. Thank you for listening.